Hey, what's going on again? This is Ed from Kansas City, and I have another informative video for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you would, I appreciate it, as well as check out some of the people I'm subscribed to if you like these kind of things. So what we're talking about today in this particular video, it all centers around customer returns. And if you're an eBay seller, you know, on there you have an option when you make your listings. You have an option to make your listings to whether you want to accept customer returns or whether you do not want to accept customer returns. Now, if you accept the customer returns, the customer has 30 days to return the item after they receive it, and we'll get into that in just a second. So we're going to just kind of like try to weigh in on is it beneficial for you as the seller to have your listings set, or all of your listings set, or some of your listings set, or for free returns, free customer returns, or to allow customers to return the item in 30 days. So we're going to look at that and try to weigh it out and see from my experience, is it beneficial for you as a seller to have that option where customers can have returns within 30 days. They can return the item without hassle in general. Or is it beneficial for you? Is it more to your benefit and more to your the growth of your business if you do not accept returns? Now, you know that two things here. One, that to allow your customer to return the items without a hassle is always, in the eyes of the customer, a big plus. They look down at that little description and they're like, okay, the customer allows me to return it, and therefore they have a sense of security or a sense of peace of mind that if the item is not what they want, change of mind, doesn't work right, or whatever the reason, then they can return the item back if it's defective, or if it wasn't the right size, if it didn't fit well. They can return the item for any reason, basically. So the second thing is, what I've learned about customer returns is it really benefits, for the most part, to be honestly, it really benefits the platform that you're selling on, whether that be Amazon or eBay. And we're talking about eBay on this particular one here. So one thing I have learned is, I think that the overall ideal of allowing customers to return the item within 30 days, I think that's a big business. That is the big platform's best interest of the company you're selling from, as opposed to just the individual seller's best interest. So and I say that because it benefits the bigger platforms, because even if you have a right not to decline a return from a customer for whatever reason, the eBay will still give you a notification or a message after that saying they encourage you to go ahead and accept a return, even though you've already clicked to deny that return. And we'll get into reasons why you can and cannot deny certain customer returns. But so we're going to just weigh in on that and let you see from my experience. I've been doing this for about 12 years with retail and selling, and so we're going to look from my experience. Should you do customer returns, or should you allow it, or should you not? So we'll look at the ups and downs of that as we go into this. So with that being said, let's kind of look at some of the examples I have for you, and then we'll kind of explain a few things as we get into the video. So we'll get into this video. Okay, so the ups and the downs of should you allow. Right in here, as you can see, the first item we're dealing with is a Fuji Instamax or Instax Mini 70 instant film camera. So this was the listing we had it. We had it for $57.99, and I may not necessarily remember what the buyer was able to get it for, but on this particular listing, we allowed for a 30-day return. Buyer pays return shipping. Now, when is it going to be beneficial or in your best interest to allow your customers to have a 30-day return? When is it going to be in your best interest? Should you do that across the board over all of your items that you sell on eBay, or should you do it on some items? How do you pick which items you should do it on? When is a good time to have free returns? Because as I said, as a buyer, buyers look to see if they can get a return. As a matter of fact, to make myself clear, I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about here. Let's give you an example here. Now, this is just an example right here of what customers. Now, as you can see on this one, this particular listing here, seller does not accept returns. I did not have returns. I do not have returns, 30-day return as a, I guess you can call it a, incentive to sell the item to the buyer. Now, this is what I mean by their pluses and minuses in should you set your listings as do not accept returns or to accept returns. This is the example I just want to kind of give you on this. It's kind of like going just another little, adding something else to it. Here's a customer asked me right here about this particular listing. He says, "Hi, these brand new ones are on Amazon for $179 plus free returns. So what's the lowest price you'll take for it? Thanks." And remember, we're selling it for $180 plus $89, and it's grade A plus. So it's in, it's in very pristine, crispy, very excellent condition. No dents, no dings, no anything of such. So he wanted to know what's the lowest you'll take. So I messaged him back, and I said, thanks for the update. And I offered him I offered it to him for a different price. I said the lowest I would probably take is $165. He messaged back and says, "I see. It's not big savings of $15 really. It's just better to pay $15 more and get Amazon free returns if necessary, in brand new condition with garment warranty. Anyways, if you like to do 100, I'd be interested." So as you can see, he was really, for the most part, trying to get the item. For the most part, trying to get the item for $100, which that wasn't going to happen, right? But the point I wanted to make, it just kind of inserting that in there as an adjective, is just that customers, it is a eye catcher when customers see they have free returns or a 30-day time to return. And like I said, the returns is bent or leans. It's more in the best interest of the company you're selling, the site you're selling on, because customers have a very huge amount of peace
And that's why Amazon, as he was saying, Amazon allows everybody pretty much free returns. But on eBay, you are allowed, as the seller, you're allowed to set which option you want to do on your listings. A lot of top-rated sellers, they will set most of their items, or some of their items, a lot of them tend to set free returns. You know, whereas, you know, some don't. So when is it in your best interest to set your listings on eBay as to give the customers that option to return the item within 30 days, or to list that item as the seller does not accept returns? Now, keep in mind that when you offer your customers 30 days returns, the thing I don't like about it is that, you know, customers have so much time to find another item at a better price, find a newer one if it wasn't new at a better price. If you allow, there's just so many options for the buyer to return the item. And I'm not even speaking on the fraudulent side of returning the item. You know, so here's an item that we sold it. And on this one, we did have 30-day returns. We go to the next page, and the buyer asks for the return. Okay, so see the return details. And I think we got them on the next page here, and it says, now this was an experienced buyer. As you can see right here, he has 2,069 feedbacks alone. Don't know necessarily how long he's been with eBay, but there you have that right there. So when we look at the return situation on it, we go right here. Let's look at the return details, what he said. Now, the only thing you're going to get as a seller, if you have your listing set as free returns, you're just going to get a message from eBay saying that you approved a return, or the return was approved. And here's going to be the reason right here. It says, show more. It says, return started, doesn't match description or photos. Photos are coming out blurry on the camera is what he said. Now, this is an experienced buyer. I'm not sure to what extent. All we know is we tested it. The pictures came out good. You know, this is a Polaroid camera, so you're going to get instant cameras. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, not Polaroid. This is Fujifilm. I'll retract that. It's Fujifilm, not Polaroid. But you're going to still get instant photos. Your little digital instant photos that you're going to get just like this. You know, just going to come right out. So the customer, he said the photos are coming out blurry. Camera physical condition is accurate, so we did the return. Now the next one. So what do I have to say about this one here? We got the item back. And we tested it again, and the first couple came out blurry, and then the rest came out clear, crispy clear. So we relisted the item, and if we get the same problem, then we'll accept it again. Now, here's where I want to show you how do you go about listing an item, whether you want to return on it or you don't want to return on it. How do I distinguish, is it in my best interest to, throw that incentive out there and give the buyer an option to return it for whatever reason after 30 days or before 30 days, or do I not add that in my description, my listing? In this particular listing here, since it was a camera that I had not personally used for, you know, weeks or months, since it wasn't something I was utilizing or that I did extensive, you know, vigorous, you know, real hard testing on the item. All I did is took multiple pictures with the camera, and I was satisfied and convinced that this camera is certainly working properly. And so we listed it accordingly. But because, as I said, that it was a used camera, even though it was in excellent condition, even though it took pictures real great, what if someone who is a photographer gets the camera and, you know, they go to doing other things, like maybe they want to connect this device if capable, if it has that option to hook this device USB to a laptop or something like that. What if they want to put a memory card in it and test it? There's a lot of things to say for this particular item, or any particular item, if you want to give the buyer an option to return it. And we did in this one because I felt like, okay, there could be, with this particular item, there could be, because it hasn't been extensively tested, and because it was used to begin with, I decided it was good to put a return option in there. Now, do I do that with all instant cameras there? No, I don't. I don't do that with all instant cameras. But with this particular one, I did. And it turned out that, you know, he said that the person said it just was blurry. And so it was a hit or miss with that. I did relist it because we took I did more extensive picture taking with it using the camera, and it works great, you know. All right, so the next one here. Now, here's another item that we listed, and it's a harness. It's a amplifier harness. Now, we listed this one here, and we also added a 30-day return on it. Getting back into that option of why or should you accept a return. Now, there you see it right there. Here you get it right here. He said that there was something wrong. He let us know that there was something wrong with the item, or he just wanted to return it. Let us know that they wanted to return this amplifier bypass harness. You know, it's used in your car for your amps, like maybe steering wheel. You want to retain some things. So let's look at this, and it says that's that day was delivered, and then let's look at the return reason. All right, let's go down and show more. Now, this particular buyer here, simple reason, changed my mind. Do not need it. You approve the request. You provided return information. Return item shipped. So, in this particular instance here, when we look at this item here, it was simply a matter of he just felt like he didn't need it anymore. When you look at the pictures on the items that we shipped out to him, even though the bag was open, as you can see in certain spots, as you can see, it doesn't look used at all. It looks basically like open box item, like open box grade A. Because you look at the tips of the wires and they still have not been used. Now, so for an item like this here, I went on ahead and accepted, put a 30-day return on it for the simple reason is even though it's looks new, what if, such as in here, because it's open, what if it doesn't work when he plugs it in? It can be brand new, but the thing about it is that even if the wiring looks brand new on it, it doesn't look used at all. You know, it doesn't look used at all. But hey, I figured we'll put that on there. We'll accept returns for this item because it is a car device. It's been opened. They've used it. We don't know if it could have been swapped out or if it's that right part that goes to the 2014 and up Chevy and GMCs. So we did our research. It looked exactly like the exact item, but we decided just to, for whatever reason, just in case this item does not perform, because we did not test it, could not test it, of course, right? So just in case this item did not perform or does not perform or would not perform, we wanted to give that option to the buyer to be able to return it without a hassle. In this case, they returned it without even using it. So there you have it. So the thing about customer returns, when you're dealing with things on this level, the thing about customer returns is, from my experience, and we're going to get into another video of customer returns, actual customer returns after this particular video. I got another video coming up that deals with customer returns. And what we're going to learn in the next video is all these other customer returns that we're going to go into in the next video. You'll see and you'll learn that had I listed these particular listings as free 30-day or 30-day returns, if I as the seller would have given the buyers that, you know, that card, that, you know, that option, that leeway, then you're going to see a lot of items that, well, not a lot, but you would see more than enough items that would have been able to been returned that would have not been to my best interest or benefit, would have not benefited me in any kind of way. It doesn't benefit you as the seller because, hey, if you're selling that item that you're listing for, and if you're giving it to the customer for the best price, beating the trending price, giving it to them as a best offer accepted, if you're giving them also an extra incentive or the free shipping, if you're doing all that work, and then you do all that work, and then the customer decides to want to abuse the return thing, or if they want to return the item, and yeah, they can pay to return the item back, but what if they're a customer that experienced it, though? They can just say that it's not working properly and make you pay for that shipping because it's not working properly. Or they say they changed their mind and they'll pay for the shipping, but you still paid out of pocket to send it to them, and the item got opened, or the item that was brand new got opened, or the item got used, or the item got, who knows what, it might not even be the right item, correct item returned. So for me, what I have certainly learned is this here in my listings. I don't like having my listings set to 30-day return. Buyer offers 30-day return. I don't like that because I don't like the thought of the customer, the games that people play and thinking they can buy something and they just turn around, oh, I got 30 days to return it if I don't like it, or if it breaks. And you'll be surprised how many times it is really more so on the lines of, I don't like it, I ain't gonna use it, I don't want it anymore, I changed my mind. Like I just showed you two. I showed you two items that I had listed with their return. And I had multiples of items like the harness listed, multiples of those that sold. And they had return on those as well, those that were not open. And those that were not genuinely, to me, open box. Still sealed in packaging and stuff like that. Or you just know that it's crispy, you know, whatever. But the thing I've learned is
I don't think it benefits me, and I don't think it's something that I would like to keep doing in my listings, or that I look forward to doing in my listing. Yeah, you want to win customers. Yeah, you want to make customers happy. That's the number one goal for real, besides making money and providing for yourself. But you have to safeguard, and you have to put some boundaries around around your business, and then you have to put some boundaries around, you know, customers. You have to limit customers, you know, from abusing things or just you know, unnecessary returns, because it wastes your labor, it wastes your time, and it wastes your money as well. My take from it is I don't think it's a good thing for the seller. It's good for the buyer, and no matter what, I don't think it's a good thing. So there are times that you're gonna have to learn as the seller, when should I use, you know, if it's an item you're unsure about. Now you can have a return. Some sellers can have a return for an item that is, they know it's brand new. They'll let customer return it even though it's brand new. They may get the customer may only get, the buyer may only get a partial refund. You know, he may have that set in his account, so the buyer only gets a partial refund because he used the item for, you know, put usage and use on the item for a period of who knows how long, under the 30-day mark. So some buyers will allow that. Some sellers will allow that, I mean. But you as a eBayer, you know, when you're starting out, you know, I think you have to use discretion. A lot of times when you're starting out, you don't want to, you know, get your metrics and your, you know, your ratings and things like that all mixed up by not having returns. You want to kind of be an easy go person when you're starting out. But as you grow and as you learn, you really want to reach a point where you kind of you're much more you're much more picky, or, you know, you're much more picky and about how you're gonna, you know, set a listing. So with me, like I said, I think it's better with me to have my listing set, you know, with seller does not accept returns, and I only set them for the 30 days return when the item, you know, could possibly be, you know, less than what I know of it, or it may not, you know, I don't know if you know, because every item that I list as 30-day return does not mean that the item is suspect or that it's not capable of functioning properly. But there are some things you can't test, and then there are some things you can't test, and you still got to list it with no returns because you know it's all that. So it's gonna be, you know, I think that if an item can be tested, if you know an item's working, I think it's if an item is open box or new in general, you're gonna have to have guidelines on whether you should set forth the return or not. Now, as I said, we've had a lot go out that had, you know, returns on them, and only, you know, a handful on one hand has come back. Probably about 3 or 4, maybe at the most. Those are 2 right there that I know that came back. I think those are the only 2 that came back that we had 30-day returns on, that the buyer automatically, I didn't have to accept a return. Out of all the listings that we gave 30-day returns on. Matter of fact, that may be the only 2 out of all of those, I think, that we had a 30-day return for, that we got back on those. If I'm correct. Could be wrong. Could be 1 or 2 more. I don't know. But I don't think it's for the better interest of the seller. I think it's just the better interest of, you know, sites like
eBay and Amazon to accept returns. I think it's better for them because it makes the buying experience for the buyer. It makes the buying experience for the buyer just all the more, you know, interesting. So, so my take on it is, you know, if you're unsure about an item, if you haven't in some way thoroughly tested an item, or was not able to, even though there's exceptions to that if you want to make it a 30-day return, but for the most part, items that you know, like I said, the ones that I do, those are examples, items that, you know, you just give that open door for a customer. So, I think over the board, no, I wouldn't do that. I'll be particular, and, you know, I'll be picky about which items I will allow to have a 30-day return. Brand new sealed items, I won't allow any kind of returns at all. Not for change your mind, not for claiming it doesn't work. I just don't do it. They'll have to take that up with eBay. Items that I have tested real thorough. I mean, items that are grade A, you know, it's sparkling. I mean, it's all that. I don't put returns. I don't accept returns on that. Items that are costly, I don't accept returns on those. Items that can be swapped out, I don't accept returns on those. I don't set the listing as a 30-day return. I put a guard and a safeguard and a protection on what I sell because I know a lot of tricks are out there. So, with that being said, I thank you for tuning in. Hit the subscribe for me, please. If you have any comments or concerns, you can shoot a message to me. I'll be more than happy to answer any message you send me about should you list your listing as returns or should you list your listings as seller does not accept returns. Like I said, it's going to be a variety of reasons, and you should never, if you're trying to protect your business, with certain things you should not do 30-day returns, given that option out there, and then some things you should. So with that being said, I hope I helped you out a lot, and take care for now. Bye-bye.